Why women think being magnetically attractive means being perfect, being agreeable, or being everything a man wants. But that's exactly what repels the men you actually want. The women who drive men absolutely wild, the ones they can't stop thinking about, the ones they pursue relentlessly, do the complete opposite of what you've been taught. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they do differently, why it works on such a primal level, and how to naturally embody these habits starting today. Imagine walking into any room and feeling men's energy shift toward you, not because you're trying to get their attention, but because something about your presence is magnetically irresistible. That's the power of understanding true feminine magnetism. And today I'm breaking down the 5 habits that create that pull. If you want to master this energy that most women completely miss, hit that like button and make sure you stay until the end, because habit number 3 will completely flip everything you think you know about attraction. Ladies, let me tell you something that might shock you. The most magnetically attractive women aren't the ones trying hardest to please men. They're not the ones saying yes to everything, avoiding conflict, or molding themselves into what they think men want. In fact, they do something that would terrify most women. They polarize, they create friction, they challenge, and men become absolutely obsessed. Here's the truth about magnetic attraction that the dating world refuses to acknowledge. Men aren't just drawn to beauty or sweetness or agreeability. They're wired to chase what feels alive, unpredictable, and emotionally stimulating. When you understand this at a cellular level, everything changes about how you show up, how you interact, and how men respond to your presence. You don't need to become someone else or fake a person. But when you tap into these 5 feminine habits, you unlock something primal in masculine psychology that most women never access. You become the woman he can't categorize, can't figure out, and absolutely cannot forget. Let's dive into the 5 feminine habits that trigger magnetic attraction in men. The first habit that creates magnetic pull is embracing strategic, emotional unavailability, not cold distance. This isn't about playing games or being cruel. This is about understanding that your emotional energy is precious and shouldn't be freely given to just anyone. Most women make themselves completely emotionally available from day one. They share everything, respond to everything, and become an open book immediately. But magnetic women understand timing and mystery. They reveal themselves slowly, like peeling back layers of a fascinating story. They don't hide who they are, but they don't dump their entire emotional world on someone before that person has earned access to it. When you're strategically emotionally unavailable, you create space for a man to wonder about you, to work to understand you, to invest emotionally in discovering who you really are. Think about it. If someone hands you a diamond, you appreciate it. But if someone makes you mine for it, discover it, work for it, that diamond becomes infinitely more valuable. Your emotional depth, your inner world, your vulnerability, these are diamonds. Don't hand them out freely. Make him earn the privilege of seeing your full self. This shows up in small ways, not immediately responding to every text with a novel, not sharing your deepest fears on the second date, not being available every single time he wants to see you. It's maintaining your own emotional center while slowly, deliberately allowing him deeper access as he proves himself worthy of that access. The second habit is creating productive tension through playful challenge, not aggressive confrontation. Magnetic women understand that attraction thrives on polarity, on push and pull, on the dance between connection and independence. They don't avoid conflict or disagreement. They lean into it playfully, intelligently, with a smile. When he says something you disagree with, instead of nodding along to keep the peace, you challenge him with curiosity. Really? That's interesting. I see it completely differently, and here's why. When he makes an assumption about you, instead of accepting it, you correct him with humor. Oh, you think you have me figured out already? That's cute. You're not even close. This isn't about being difficult or argumentative. It's about showing him that you have your own mind, your own opinions, your own strength. Most women are so afraid of creating any tension that they become agreeable, predictable, and ultimately forgettable. But magnetic women understand that a little friction creates fire. Men are biologically wired to be hunters, to pursue, to overcome challenges. When you present yourself as a worthy challenge, not an impossible one, but someone with depth, complexity, and strength, you activate that primal drive. He doesn't want to conquer you, he wants to earn you. There's a massive difference. Productive tension means you push back when something doesn't align with your values. You tease him when he's being too serious. You challenge his assumptions about life, about you, about relationships. You create intellectual and emotional friction that sparks chemistry rather than kills it. The third habit, and this is the game changer most women completely miss, is owning your sexual energy without apology or shame. This isn't about being overly sexual or inappropriate. This is about being completely comfortable with your own sensuality and letting that comfort radiate naturally. Most women have been taught to hide their sexual energy, to downplay it, to make others comfortable with their desirability. But magnetic women do the opposite. They own their sensuality completely. They move through the world knowing they're sexual beings, and they don't apologize for it or try to hide it. This shows up in how you carry yourself, how you dress for your own pleasure, how you speak about desire and attraction without embarrassment. When a conversation turns sexual, you don't blush and change the subject. You engage with confidence and comfort. When you feel attracted to someone, you don't hide it behind fake indifference. You let that energy be felt. Men can sense when a woman is comfortable with her own sexuality versus when she's repressing it or feeling shame around it. The woman who owns her sexual energy without being desperate for validation becomes absolutely magnetic. She doesn't need him to make her feel desirable because she already knows she is. That self-possession is intoxicating. This doesn't mean being inappropriate or forward in ways that make others uncomfortable. It means being so comfortable in your own skin, so accepting of your own desires and attractiveness that others feel that confidence and are drawn to it. You become the woman who can talk about attraction, desire, and sexuality with the same ease you discuss the weather because you've removed all shame and awkwardness from those topics. The fourth habit is demonstrating selective interest rather than universal availability. Magnetic women don't treat every man the same way. They don't give the same energy, attention, or access to someone who hasn't earned it that they give to someone who has. They're discerning, selective, and unapologetic about their standards. This means you respond differently to different people based on how they show up for you. The man who texts you thoughtful messages gets thoughtful responses. The man who sends lazy, low-effort communication gets lazy, low-effort responses or no response at all. You mirror energy, and you're completely comfortable with the fact that not everyone deserves your best. Most women are terrified of seeming mean or difficult, so they give everyone the same level of niceness, availability, and energy, but this actually devalues your attention and makes it meaningless. When everyone gets the same treatment, no one feels special. When everyone has the same access to you, no one has to work to earn more. Selective interest means you notice and reward good behavior while not rewarding poor behavior. You're warm and engaging with the man who plans thoughtful dates, who remembers what you tell him, who treats you with respect and consideration. You're polite but distant with the man who treats you as an option, who puts in minimal effort, who takes you for granted. This creates a natural hierarchy where men understand that access to your time, energy, and attention is earned, not given freely. The men who want more access start stepping up their game. The men who don't want to put in effort remove themselves from the equation. It's a beautiful filtering system that saves you time and energy while attracting men who actually value what you offer. The fifth habit is maintaining your own gravitational center while allowing connection. This is perhaps the most sophisticated of all magnetic habits. It's about being fully present and available for connection while never losing yourself in someone else's orbit. You remain the center of your own universe while inviting someone to share that universe with you. Most women, when they're attracted to someone, start orbiting around that person. Their mood depends on his mood. Their plans revolve around his schedule. Their happiness becomes contingent on his attention and approval. They lose their own gravitational center and become a satellite in his world. But magnetic women do the opposite. They invite him into their world, their energy, their gravitational field. They're excited to share their passions, their friends, their interests, their adventures. They don't abandon their own life to fit into his. They enhance their own life and invite him to be part of that enhancement. This shows up in maintaining your friendships, your hobbies, your goals, your routines, even when you're excited about someone new. It means your happiness and fulfillment don't depend on his presence or approval. You're complete on your own, and his presence adds to that completeness rather than creating it. When you maintain your own gravitational center, men feel drawn into your orbit rather than feeling like they need to include you in theirs. You become the sun rather than the planet. That's magnetic attraction at its finest. Now let's talk about how to actually embody these habits in real life, because understanding them intellectually is just the first step. The magic happens when you integrate them so naturally that they become part of who you are, not something you're trying to do. Strategic emotional unavailability in practice means creating healthy boundaries around your emotional energy. Don't share your deepest vulnerabilities with someone who hasn't shown they can handle them with care. Don't become someone's emotional support system before they've proven they're willing to support you in return. Keep some mystery, some parts of yourself private until someone earns access to those parts through consistent, caring behavior. This might mean not immediately responding to every text, not sharing every detail of your day, not being available every time someone wants to see you. It's maintaining your own emotional rhythm and letting others sync to it, rather than constantly syncing to theirs. Creating productive tension means getting comfortable with disagreement and seeing it as a pathway to deeper connection rather than something to avoid. When someone says something you disagree with, instead of staying silent to keep the peace, share your perspective with curiosity and openness. I see it differently. Want to know why? This creates intellectual intimacy and shows that you're not afraid of depth or complexity. Practice teasing in a way that's playful rather than mean. If he's being overly serious, you might say something like, "Wow, remind me never to invite you to a comedy show." If he makes an assumption about you, challenge it with humor. "You think you know me that well already? Confident much?" The key is maintaining warmth while creating that little spark of friction that keeps things interesting. Owning your sexual energy means getting comfortable talking about attraction, desire, and sexuality without shame or embarrassment. It means dressing in ways that make you feel confident and attractive regardless of others' opinions. It means moving through the world with the knowledge that you're a sexual being, and that's nothing to hide or apologize for. This doesn't mean being inappropriate or making others uncomfortable. It means removing your own internal shame around sexuality so that when these topics come up naturally, you can engage with confidence and ease. Men find this incredibly attractive because most women are still carrying shame around these topics. Demonstrating selective interest requires you to get crystal clear on your standards and then actually enforce them through your behavior. Don't reward bad behavior with good responses. Don't give your best energy to someone who's giving you their worst. Match energy and be completely comfortable with the fact that different people deserve different levels of your attention and investment. This might feel uncomfortable at first because we're taught to be nice to everyone equally. But kindness doesn't mean being equally available to everyone. You can be polite to everyone while reserving your enthusiasm, your time, and your energy for those who earn it. Maintaining your gravitational center means never abandoning your own life, goals, interests, and friendships for someone else. It means staying connected to what makes you happy and fulfilled independent of any romantic relationship. It means inviting others to share your world rather than trying to fit into theirs. In practical terms, this means keeping your regular activities, maintaining your friendships, pursuing your goals, and staying connected to your own sources of joy and fulfillment. Even when you're excited about someone new, your life should enhance his life and vice versa, but neither should disappear into the other. Now let's address what these habits are not, because there are some dangerous ways to misinterpret this advice that will actually repel the men you want to attract. Strategic emotional unavailability is not being cold, distant, or cruel. It's not playing games or manipulating someone's emotions. It's not pretending to care less than you do or acting